Wow. Good morning. Good morning and thank you. Thank you very much for the privilege of speaking to the next generation of our nation. That's the way I see the people that are here with us this morning. Now, I want to start with a chapter of Tehillim, Perek Tehillim. I don't know if you heard the news. There was unfortunately a terror attack in Yerushalayim, where I live, 2 hours ago. Shabbat started in Yerushalayim just a few minutes ago. I was speaking to the kids, family members, friends, taking care, just asking them if they're all okay. So, in our family, yeah, they're all at home, they're okay. But in other families, at least 2 families, people are hurt, people are injured. I want to say together ancient words said by David HaMelech, King David, thousands of years ago, but still so relevant. Chapter Kaf, 20th chapter in Tehillim. I'll say the verses of Sukim. You can maybe also know in my heart. It's a well-known chapter. למנצח מזמור לדוד. יענך אדוני ביום צרה, יסלמך שם אלוהי יעקב. ישלח עזרך מקודש ובציון יסעדך. יזכור כל מנחותיך והולדך ישנה סלע. ייתן לך חיבבך בכל תעשתך ימלא. נרננה מישועותיך ובשם אלוהינו נדגול ימלא אדוני כל משאלותיך. אתה ידעת כי הושיע אדוני משליחו יעננו בשמי קודשו בגבורות ישע ימינו. אלה ברכב ואלה בסוסים ואנחנו בשם אדוני אלוהינו נזכיר. הם מטרה ונפלו ואנחנו קמנו ונתעודד. אדוני הושיע המלך יעננו ביום קומנו. These are words of optimism, words of prayer for a better world, safe world, secure world. So in a way, what you do here affects things that are going on now in Yerushalayim. Thank you for that moment. But we want to let those terrorists probably want this lecture to be cancelled and all to be nervous and sad. We want to do it. I want to share my story with you, but I need your help. Because I have a few questions, and you might help me out, describing my journey, my career. You said, flattering me, they're really exaggerating, I'm not so famous and not so important, but it's nice to hear. But yeah, I work as a journalist in Israel and abroad, and I want you maybe to help me out describing my journey. Maybe it will be relevant to your journey too. Okay. Do you recognize this young girl? That's me. 30 years ago. That was, do you recognize this person, Rabbi? He was Israel's Prime Minister, Yitzhak Rabin. And I'm here interviewing him, prime time show in Israel, the show, the highest rating, the best, millions of people are watching it in Israel. And I was chosen to be the young girl interviewing important people. I must tell you, sunflowers were very trendy that year, okay? That's the explanation for that. Okay. It became like a format. They loved the fact that a young girl interviews like a very important person. And every week I was there in the studio. Here I'm interviewing Yitzhak Rabin, our Prime Minister of blessed memory. A week later, I interviewed Shimon Peres, who was a foreign minister of blessed memory. A week later, I interviewed the Power Rangers. They came to Israel, also of blessed memory, right? I'm not really familiar with what's going on, but I think they're not with us anymore. So that was my childhood, basically, interviewing people. I want to tell you something. I wasn't so successful. I wasn't like the most popular girl in my class, and I was invited to TV. It wasn't so natural. Okay, the fact they chose me to come. I was a failure as a young girl. Today, I'm proud to stand here and share it, but I was a failure. Everything I did came out awful. All the kids in my class, they had those cool hobbies in the afternoon. Playing the flute, playing the guitar, dancing, arts and crafts. I was awful. I tried. Everything came out. Really, it was embarrassing. By the way, until today, sometimes when I try to, cook or bake or change a light bulb, park in reverse, some say even driving forward. I'm not so, when it comes to things that are technical or practical. But at the age of 6, I got the biggest gift. I think it's the biggest gift someone can give you. Feeling meaningful, feeling successful, knowing that you're good in this specific thing you're doing. And I'll explain it. It was the end of Kita Aleph, first grade, elementary school. Our teacher, Vicky, she taught us how to read and write in Hebrew. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, just like you. At the end of the year, I felt I had this skill, this gift, okay? The ability to read and write. And it became my niche. I was better than others for the first time. I wasn't chasing, I wasn't after them, they were after me. They wanted me to write things out. They wanted to copy. Do you do it in the States? They copy homework. Others, no, you're not familiar with it? Okay. So it was really popular in Israel, and I became the best. My notebooks were everywhere. And they were after me. And then for the first time, you can feel the taste, something, it's as if it is physical. It's sweet and not bitter. For the first time, I felt I'm better than others. And I felt meaning in what I did. And now I started doing it constantly. Reading, writing, speaking. There was a girl sitting next to me. Her name was Karen. I wrote her a note. It was a very, very boring lesson. I wrote her a note saying, Karen, is it true you have a dog? You adopted a dog? Karen wrote back, yes. I said, what's the name of the dog? She said, Rexy. What's the color? Brown. What's the type? Etc. This was my first interview without even knowing what is an interview. I was 7. I had no idea what I was doing, but it was fun. I had a mountain of notes at the end of the day. I took it back home with me, and I started editing, writing, rewriting it, and I sent it to a kids' magazine that was really popular back then, and it was published. Karen and the Dog by Sivan, Rahav, Meir, 7 years old. Boom. I became a celebrity. The next day I go to school, lots of enthusiasm. When I walk in, when Karen, Karen, she then adopted the dog. When she comes in, lots of enthusiasm. The teacher showed less enthusiasm, obviously. She didn't like all the mess we did. She took Karen away from me. Now there was a new girl sitting next to me. Now use your imagination. What happened 2 weeks later? What happened? Video. Great. Another article. Exactly. Shear's napkin collection. That was the headline. She collected napkins. Her name was Shear. That's the hobby I found. In a way, until we had this joke, every time the teacher would change the seats in our class, basically she added the next edition of the kids' magazine. Because every kid that came and sat next to me became an item. Every kid had a story. Every person is special. I think this unique message, for me, it's like a life-changing experience. 35 kids were with me in Kita Aleph, first grade. 35 interviews were published until the end of the year. You understand? It wasn't such an extraordinary class. It means each individual is extraordinary. We're all special. We all have stories to share with the world. That was just the beginning. I became well known as a journalist. And then I discovered my dreams. I didn't grow up like you, knowing about my heritage. Unfortunately, I knew much less. At the age of 15, I was invited to a Shabbat meal, Sudat Shabbat. It might sound weird, but the concept of Kiddush, or Havdalah, or having Shabbat with the challah, with the wine, with the brachot, never heard of it before. Never. I know it sounds weird, it's possible. Until the age of 15, okay? What happened was, I was invited to this Shabbat. 3 girls, I interviewed them, and they invited me to come. What happened was, I fell in love. I fell in love with the concept. I was a workaholic, working 24/7 on Israeli TV, although I was just 15. And I discovered the secret of Shabbat. I want to share this secret with you. Okay, that's an interview. Another Prime Minister, Albert. That was exactly, that's what I was been doing for years. So for the first time, I turned on the phone. No items on Friday night. I was on TV all day. Friday night, Shabbat morning, I had shows. Interviewing people, with the earphones and the control room and the floor manager, you work all day. For the first time I was invited to Shabbat meal. That's the secret I discovered, designed by Israeli artist Meir. And once again, I need your help here. Okay. What do you see here? What's written here? Oh, you're so I forgot I'm in America, I'm in Israel. You raise your hand. You don't shout the answers. Okay. You please, yes.
It says both. Right, everywhere, but in reality, and an exclamation point.
Perfect. What's your name?
My name is Daniel.
Dan, thank you. Perfect answer. So, You do see, okay. Listen, knowing to read the word cat and knowing Hebrew, that's something really impressive. Okay, guys, we have cat. But you're right, the way you described it, it's perfect. We have the big cat. But this cat is created out of small law. Beautiful. How many times do you see the word law appears here? The word law appears. We're going to take a minute and count. Okay, if it's harder, take a minute, it's okay. Okay, almost no. Who said what? Not 40. 39. Thank you very much. 39. Okay, good. Okay, why 39? That was harder. You're going to raise your hand. Why 39? Why do you think 39 times? We need 39 times of law in order to reach one ken. I'll help you out. In Hebrew 39, yes, please.
Because it's 40 minus 1, which is 39.
That's good. That's never good. Shabbat. Exactly. Thank you very much. Shabbat law. Thank you very much. What's your name? Thank you, Rachel. So, the laws of Shabbat are considered basically, there are 39 things, or 39 elements of things we do not do on Shabbat. It is called in Hebrew, Lamed Tet Melachot, or in your Ivris, Lamed Tes, I don't know, how's your Ivris? You know, Ivris, okay, so in Hebrew, we say Lamed Tet, Geometry, Shloshim Edition, 39 things we do not do on Shabbat. That's the way Shabbat is in a way planned. We have 39 things we do not do, okay? So we take those elements of low, and at the end of the day, so we can say, oh, I'm not supposed to do on Shabbat, I wasn't on TV, so they didn't pay me Friday night. I'm not getting paid, nobody watches me, I'm not popular, nobody follows me. Think of it. I say no to being on TV on Friday night, because I want to have a family meal with friends, with something very private and very intimate. No stories, no cameras, no lights. So I say no, I can feel stuck, you know. And I'm so miserable, I'm so nervous, I'm so like, unfortunate, I'm like stuck with all those all those boundaries and boring things I'm not allowed to do. I'm such a miserable Jew. But the minute you zoom out, from a bird's eye view, you see all those small restrictions, small tiny things, small law, no, it creates a huge, meaningful, sweet ken. When I saw this picture, it helped me understand what I felt there on my first Shabbat. Meaning, when you say no to something, at the end of the day you reach ken. But tell me, without the law, we wouldn't have the ken. Meaning, if we, in our life, in every field, on everything we do, we don't have the ability to say no, we will never reach a ken. Give me more examples. It's not Shabbat, but if you feel the real freedom of Shabbat, when you disconnect, you're not online all the time, you'll feel the same. But give me more examples, because I think it's true. This basic, fundamental Jewish principle, it's true in other cases. Give me more examples. When and where? Okay, you have to say law in order to reach an achievement, something meaningful at the end of the day. Let's speak about your world, okay? Tests, exams. You learn here seriously? Yeah? Finals, I don't know what's in New York, yeah. So give me an example where you had to say no to something. Let's say Netflix, YouTube, WhatsApp groups, stupid things I want to watch, follow, share. But if I want to be a good student, in order to reach something at the end of the day, I must say no, right, to certain things, okay? In any meaningful thing you want to do, okay, let's take, you're not on a diet, right? You don't need to. But let's imagine, people sometimes they need a diet, okay? For their health. And there's a great chocolate cake and a great donut in front of them. You must say no in order to reach the final result. You want to be happier and healthier and thinner. Let's think of, in a few years, because a lot of people get married, right? You have to say no to all the women in the world in order to really be with your wife and build the house together, in partnership, right? You must say lo in order to reach ken. Remember it. On Shabbat, whenever you, I believe in every serious thing you do in life. That's what I discovered at the age of 15. I had to come and tell my bosses, my colleagues, I work on Shabbat. I'm changing the style of my career. I'm a well-known workaholic. I'll work 24/6. I became more observant, more connected to our heritage and things I guess you're familiar with, but for me it was a scoop for the first time. Now I want to ask you another question. Do you think it made me, okay, how did it harm my career? I'll ask you, do you think it hurt my career? If you become like a observant or like more Jewish journalist, do you think it hurts my career or improves me as a journalist? What do you think? More obstacles or more advantages? Yes, please. Yeah. I'm an Israeli West child.
Improves your you being a journalist.
Improves, right? Why? How can it make me a better journalist? You can help her, yes. You're also raised that. Yeah.
Having like a break, having time to like actually see yourself and get about like working every day and stuff.
Beautiful. If you take some time to relax, you're a better worker. You become a better student, a better child, a better parent. If you have one day a week when you're relaxed. Good. Together, you made, yeah. Other answers, yeah. Who also wants to share? You think maybe I became like a very, with all those restrictions and new things I started keeping, it made me not such a good journalist. I'll tell you something, but yeah, Daniel, right?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
You wouldn't get burnt out. You really understand. When you spend the majority of your life doing something, you're going to get burnt out.
Okay. So in a way, I want to share maybe even something. I think it made me a better journalist. It made me a much better journalist. I'll tell you why. First of all, as you said, both girls, if you have one day of resting, I think it affects the other 6 days of labor and work. But if you're connected to your values in a way, I think you bring more to the desk. We have this desk room, this newsroom. I think you bring a lot of content and a lot of values. If you're connected, if you're more connected to your big story, to the big thing, you're part of it, I think it makes you much happier and more influential. You influence more people. I see when there's a meaning, when there's something meaningful, I think you become a more, important journalist, a happier journalist, a more successful journalist. It's not just about journalism. I think if you're connected to your values, you never lose. You heard it from Jonathan Sachs. You heard from him? He was a professor, chief rabbi of Great Britain, and he told me, if you're connected to your values, you'll be a lot more successful. Anything, any job, any mission you'll take. Okay, I want to ask you something. Oh, okay. I'll show you a little example. There's a show in Israel called Eretz Nehederet. It's like Saturday Night Live. They imitate people, so that's the way they imitate me. And I was like, speaking with Jews, it looks, quite the same. I want to share maybe one last story or message with you in a way about heroism. People ask me many times, what was the best interview, the most interesting interview, the best scoop? Okay, who was the most exciting person you interviewed? I interviewed, really, more than thousands, I don't know, 100,000 maybe. I interviewed thousands of people in Israel, thousands of Israel, people in Israel and abroad, many politicians and singers and celebrities. I think the most important, that's our family by the way. You see it, that's not such a positive frame. That's us. I think the most interesting interview was this one. Meet Natan Sharansky, a real hero in Israel. He was what we call a prisoner of Zion, Asir Tzion. He sat for 12 years in a small cell in a communist Russian jail, former Soviet Union, because of his values. For years, I wanted to interview him and his wife, because they're real heroes. But their message, the message they asked me to convey, I think it belongs to you, it's not mine. Okay, this is why this is the most important interview I had, inspiring, uplifting. I believe that's the interview I ever had. Wow. Okay? Sharansky, as I said, he was an activist in Russia, and he, by the way, he grew up knowing nothing about his Judaism. He thought Judaism is like a curse, like saying to someone, oh, you're a Jew. It's like you're ugly, you're stupid. He didn't realize there's a positive meaning to his Judaism or Zionism. He knew nothing about, basically, for himself. At the age of 20, he saw a book called The Jewish History. He read this book. It was illegal to even hold this book, okay? It was illegal to read it in Russia, in Moscow, but he read it. And then he said, I thought I'm 20 years old. Now I understand, now I just realized I'm 4,000 years old, okay? The story is bigger and deeper and wider. It's not just me as an individual. I'm connected to something bigger. Okay, so he started being an activist in the underground movement in Moscow. He went to all kinds of demonstrations for Aliyah, coming to Israel, for Hebrew, just the ability to learn Hebrew. It was illegal to learn Hebrew, to know what's going on in Israel, Israeli news, nothing. That's where he met Avital. She also discovered her identity, and they both became like a symbol, an icon. During the 70s and 80s, this couple was like the power couple because millions of people around the world were demonstrating for them. They got married. The next day he was arrested. She came to Israel. And they wanted to make Aliyah, and he was there in a small cell for 12 years, okay? Here I am, sitting in front of them, in an exclusive interview after 30 years, asking them about the story, heroic story. And they described everything, the hunger strikes, the way he wanted to put on the filling, the way he was trying to calculate when it's Shabbat, the way he was trying to learn Hebrew inside the jail, everything. But then I asked him for the last question that's relevant to you. The last question I asked was, why are you giving this interview now? 30 years of silence, she's really shocked now. She didn't want to speak. Why is it important to you to sit in front of me speaking? You see the cameraman here, there's a sound man here. I'm sitting there, it's going to be the main news channel in Israel, channel 12, it's like a primetime news. Why is it so important to you? And they said, we're giving this interview because what we want every Jew to know, that he is braver than us. Wait a minute. How can we be braver than them? Okay? Our life is Baruch Hashem, cozy, nice, comfortable. So I asked Sharansky, maybe you're thirsty or confused, we're sitting here for 3 hours, maybe it's a mistake. I said, no. That's a very serious sentence. I think every Jew that watches this interview is braver than me. How would we be braver? If anyone wants to try to explain this sentence, I'll explain it in a minute. But how can I be braver? He was sitting for 12 years because of his values, just for the minute he says, okay, I'm a communist, they'll release him. 12 years, refuses KGB investigations, hunger strikes, awful conditions when it comes to the food and water. 12 years. How can I be braver than him? How can you be braver than him? Do you have any idea what does it mean? What is the message here? How can you be braver than him? You're also confused, right? So here's the answer. He tells me. So it's like this. He says, when I was there, inside this small cell, everything was crystal clear. Nothing was confusing. Every day I woke up, I was hungry. The conditions were bad. But in a way, every day I woke up, and everything was crystal clear, right from wrong, true, false, black, white. I wasn't confused. Everything that was good was identified with me. Democracy, freedom of speech, Zionism, Israel, Hebrew, Aliyah, Torah, learning, everything that was good, I represented it. Everything that was negative was identified with them. Communism, violence, all those, it was illegal. It was like, today, how awful it was. So, our communist regime. So in a way, he says, it was easy. It wasn't easy physically, but mentally. Waking up every morning, I knew who I am. The minute I walked out from jail, he says, I became confused because this world is confusing. Everything's available, everything's accessible. You can't even, nobody forces you to choose any identity. You can be whoever you are, when and where. You can do whatever you want, eat, marry, think. When it comes to Israel, so many people are involved in so many, opinions on campuses. Everything's like, he says the world is confusing. So the minute I walked out from jail, I became confused until today. I think today, the Jews, for the first time, their faith is the first generation of freedom, democracy, in Israel and the States. Nobody's after you. Have you noticed this fascinating fact? No Hitler, Lenin, Stalin, Baruch Hashem, no enemy is after you. For the first time, you have to choose. We have to choose. Can we choose our values and identity? Every Jew that watches me, he says, he's braver than me because he's connected. The whole world is waiting. Nobody's forcing him. There's no self-devotions. The Nazis are here. No, nobody's. Baruch Hashem. Look around you. You can choose. And if you choose your identity, that's real bravery. That's real gevurah, what we call in Hebrew. That's real heroism. And he said, take this message, take it with you wherever you go. And I think here it's outside of Israel, it's a perfect place to convey the message. Because remember the first sentence I said? I said I'm excited because I'm here this morning with the next generation of the Jewish people. So now I just want to correct the definition. I'm here with the next heroes of the Jewish nation. That's who you are. It's not me saying it. Someone who was sitting for 12 years inside a small cell is telling you are heroes. So keep up with this bravery and heroism. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sivan, thank you so much. Let's all wish Sivan a Shabbat Shalom, please. We hope it's a sweet Shabbat in New York, and I'm going to send you guys to class. So let's have 12th grade and 8th grade, please.
Be aware, middle schoolers are in the hallway.
Thank you very much. Shalom. You want me to continue in Hebrew? No. Okay. Thank you very much. Toda rabba. I want to thank, first of all, really, Schechter School for asking us to come, and Rav Nachum Tenenbaum, the Chabad Shaliach of the area that organized everything. Thank you for that. And I want to thank you for coming in this morning. First of all, I would like just to share something. I can't start without mentioning what happened this morning in Yerushalayim, unfortunately, the city where I live. I come from Yerushalayim, and unfortunately there was a terror attack. A Palestinian terrorist attacked people in the neighborhood called Ramot. I would like to start with one chapter of Tehillim, the ancient words said by King David HaMelech, so many years ago, but they're really relevant. We use them every time we need a key to something, we use those words, and especially now, Shabbat, in Israel, Shabbat already started. I just talked to the kids a few minutes ago to see that they're all okay, they're all fine, they're at home. But we here, it's still morning, and I want us to daven, to pray, to say together just one chapter of the Tehillim. I will say, you can recite it, and just maybe you even know it by heart. It's a very famous chapter, just for the safety, because we're all connected in a way. The things you say here, they affect the kids in Yerushalayim, vice versa. שיר המעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. עזרי מעם אדוני עושה שמיים וארץ. אל ייתן למות רגליך, אל ינום שומריך. הנה לא ינום ולא יישן שומר ישראל. אדוני שומריך, אדוני צילך על יד ימינך. יומם השמש לא יכך וירח ללילה. אדוני ישמורך מכל רע, ישמור את נפשך. אדוני ישמור צאתך ובואך, מעתה ועד עולם. These are words of optimism, of hope, of prayer, for peace, for security, and for basically a perfect world, what we all want. And we're on the way, we're moving forward. Our situation today is much better than in the past, but we still have enemies sometimes. I want to share a few stories about my life, but I need your help. I'll ask you questions, okay, and I will definitely need your help trying to describe just a few stories out of my journey. I hope it will help your journey too. Okay, that's me. Do you recognize this young girl? I was approximately your age. That's me. Prime time show on Israel TV. Millions of Israelis are watching, and I'm interviewing here the Prime Minister. Back then, that was the Prime Minister of Israel, and that's me. I must tell you, sunflowers were very trendy that year, okay? That's the reason, that's the explanation for what I wear. That was my childhood. I was interviewing people. Whenever I had, I missed school once a week, and I went to the TV studio. Here I am interviewing Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin of blessed memory. A week later, I interviewed our Foreign Minister, Shimon Peres of blessed memory. A week later, I interviewed the Power Rangers. They came to Israel. I think they're also of blessed memory, right? You know what's going on with them? I'm not so cool, I don't know, but that was my childhood, okay? Sitting here, interviewing people, and becoming quite famous. At the age of 15, I first met someone who is more traditional, more connected to Judaism. I grew up, there was no Schechter school in my community, in my neighborhood, and I grew up, I guess you get here lots of Jewish values, education, you learn things about our heritage, about our tradition. Unfortunately, I didn't have this knowledge, and at the age of 15, someone invited me for the first time to a Shabbat meal. I guess you heard Kiddush in your life, right? I guess you heard you have two challahs, and you know what you do with them on Shabbat. I guess you eat something special with your family, and you have this Shabbat meal, Friday night meal. I was familiar with this concept. I was 15, and I was invited for the first time to see what Shabbat is all about. And then I discovered a huge secret. I'll tell you the secret in a minute. That's me interviewing. That's another Prime Minister. Really, for years, that's what I've been doing in Israel. But nobody told me about this scoop. Okay, I'm giving you something, a tool, that in a way can help you throughout your life, okay? I hope you remember it. Okay, so, who can read this? Who wants to read? You please, yes. Okay, good, perfect. Okay, yes, you please. Yes? What do you see? I want you to describe it, okay? I'm asking you, what do you see? You want, yeah? Yeah? Good. But this can is made out of? Exactly. There's a secret here, okay? We have a huge, meaningful can, but this can cannot exist without small bricks, small parts of lo. Yes and no. Why? Wait, first let's count. How many times do you see the word lo here? Take a minute and count, okay? It appears, how many times it appears? How many times do you see it? Take the time, take your time. You're already done, yeah? Good, 39. 39. How do you say 39 in Hebrew, by the way? Who knows? 39. Come on, great. Do you want me to speak Hebrew? Are you sure? I can definitely switch to Hebrew. רוצים לדבר עברית קצת? איך העברית שלכם? מאוד טוב? מישהו יש... רב. מישהו יש לו הורים ישראלים? מישהו any parents? You? אתם מדברים חבר'ה? יופי. יפה מאוד. Okay, no. We'll continue in English. Okay, no problem. Just wanted to check. Okay. So why 39? It's very good. You're good in counting. 39. Why 39? It has something to do with Shabbat. I just told you it's a secret they discovered on Shabbat. Why 39? It has something to do with Shabbat. 39, 39 in Hebrew. לומדים את זה בתיכון. You're right. They're too young. You'll get to it. When you get to it, remember what I said. We have 39, I would say, principles, things that we do not do on Shabbat. The basic elements of Shabbat, everything that creates the Shabbat experience, comes from those 39, and in Hebrew, Lamed Tet, if you remember to Lamed Tet, 39, 39 things we don't do. Okay, so what's the connection? I mean, okay, I have things I do not do. By the way, when I was invited to this Shabbat meal, for the first time, I turned off the phone, and I was sitting with people, talking to them face to face. I wasn't on TV. Until then, I was on TV Friday night, Shabbat morning. I was interviewing people, connected. So wait, I'm losing money. I'm not paid on Friday night. Oh, it's halal. I'm missing my wife. Why? We do want to earn money, but I don't get any pay. I'm not getting paid for a Shabbat meal. No rating. Nobody's watching me. Nobody's following me. I'm not popular. And there is someone else there on my chair interviewing people, taking my position. What's going on here? Am I losing something? That's the way I felt at first. Look, I'm not doing this, and I'm so miserable. Oh, so many things I'm not supposed to do on Shabbat. I don't do this, I don't touch it, I don't... Wait a minute. The minute you zoom out, from a bird's eye view, you see all those small lo. They create a huge, meaningful can, and that's the result of saying no to something small. On Shabbat, you can definitely feel it, where you're a little bit disconnected. When you're connected to Shabbat, you're offline, but you're really online. Shabbat, that's the main thing. That's what's going on in a few hours, okay? So on Shabbat, you say no to all those daily things, and you teach, you reach, you can touch the freedom, okay, of Shabbat, the holiness of Shabbat. I want to hear more examples. I think, as I said, it's a secret, it's a tool I'm giving you now, and it will help you throughout your life. Think of other, I would say, fields, other examples where you say no, but eventually at the end of the day, it creates a big can. It creates something. What do you think? Other examples. For example, okay, no, I'll give you a few seconds, okay? In your life, there are many temptations, many distractions, many things. They look cool, they look good. I want to do this, it's attractive. I want to say no, small, low, because I have a final result. There's something I want to reach at the end of the day. Sports. Anyone here is involved in any field of sports? What do you do? Yeah, what do you do? Yeah. Tennis. Okay. Do you always like to practice? Okay, so that sometimes it's more tempting to sit at home, right? You have like Netflix, YouTube, some hamburger, I don't know, something fun to watch, to eat, to do, just to sit bored, be just bored with your sisters, brothers, okay. But you got up and you go and you practice. And it makes you a better tennis player. So in a way you have to say low, just small temptations, because you have a goal. You want to be a good tennis player. Okay, now we have other examples of sports. Let's go to different fields. Yes, you please. Oh, exactly. What's your name? Lila. Exactly the example I want to give. Good. Please elaborate. Okay, so you have a test and. Exactly. You all listen. You want to have a good grade at the end of the day. When it comes to learning, really learning, we're the people of the book, the Jewish people. We want to learn. We want to know more. Torah and other things. We want to learn seriously. I had to say no to small temptations because I have a goal. Exactly. Good. Other examples. Yes, please.
Saying no to
Junk food. Exactly. You're not supposed to be on a diet, your age. But I sometimes, I am. And people my age, you want to be thinner. You want to be healthier. You want to look nicer. You have this goal. So, what am I supposed to do? Where should I say law? In front of what? Donut? Chocolate cake? Cookies? Okay, more examples, all the candies in America. I can't even describe them. Sometimes I see things you eat here, I'm shocked. Okay, so I want to say no to all those temptations. They're not healthy. They're sweet. They're too sweet. Because I have this final goal. Exactly. Okay. I think it's enough. I'll give you an example. Maybe when you will be older and you will want to educate your kids. Sometimes you'll have to say, no, you can't do this, you can't touch this, don't walk down the street, don't cross I have to say no. Why? Because I love you. I want to reach the final result. I want you to be an educated, good Jewish kid, right? Sometimes we have to say no. Your parents, sometimes they say no. It's just because they want you to reach the final plan. Okay, that's the secret I discovered when I was 15. I started keeping Shabbat. I started being a journalist that is more involved with Jewish values, knowing more about our heritage, about our tradition, more devoted. Do you think it made me a better journalist? Or it hurt my career? What do you think? Better or worse as a journalist? Yes, you please. Beautiful. I had more things to share. I had more content. We just started with the David. Okay, the news it doesn't start today, this morning. We have more things. The world is wider and bigger, and definitely I can share more things with people. I have more content. It's not just me. I'm not just an individual. I'm part of a magnificent story, tremendous story, uplifting. I have so many things to share because I'm connected to more sources. I know more. Beautiful. Maybe someone thinks it made me a worse journalist. Yes, you please. Beautiful. I know more people. By the way, definitely made me more friendly. I had more people to talk in a deeper way. There are conversations you can only make on Shabbat. I must tell you something. Sometimes there are conversations you can only make when you're free from all those distractions. I'm not in the studio. I don't work. I don't have bosses disturbing me. Okay, great. I want to continue, but really your answers are beautiful. Maybe I'll show you this. I'll show my family. Okay, that's me. They imitate me. There's a popular show in Israel, like a funny, show called Eretz Nehederet. What is Eretz Nehederet? Can you translate it? By the way, Eretz. What is Eretz? Land. Nehederet. Nehedar. Something that is Nehedar. Pleasant. Good. Eretz Nehederet. It's like Saturday Night Live in America. They imitate people, so that's a famous actress. That's me, basically. Yeah. Okay. And Baruch Hashem. I met him, that's my husband. The person waving, that's not us. That's not part of the family, but he was escorting us, he was taking us to the airport. But you see the family here. We're on shlichut. You have shlichim here, right? You have Jewish identity shlichim, the work in the school. So in a way, we came to the States to live here, to teach, to be with communities. That's the way we left Israel. That's the way we came back, unfortunately. COVID changed everything, but so for years that's my work, basically, to interview people. I want to share maybe one or two stories that I covered, and they were the most meaningful stories, the best things I learned, the best things I really got some inspiration from people I met. But I will have to use your experience too. Once again, I want you to be active. A few years ago, I met Rav Yaakov Edelstein, who was a big rabbi in Israel, the chief rabbi of a city called Ramat Sharon. We were neighbors. And one day, he had a surgery in his throat, and he lost the ability to speak. It was a tragedy. He was 90 plus, but for us, it was, we wanted him with us. And then, listen to what happened, okay? It was like a therapist coming into his room. I published it all over the world, but I guess you're not familiar with this story yet. I remember when it happened, I felt like it's like it's a pearl. Sometimes when people share a story with me, I feel like that like a pearl. I want to share it with the whole world, this beauty. So I remember when it happened. Okay, so a therapist comes into his room of Rav Yaakov Edelstein, 90 plus. He lost the ability to speak, but they want to teach him how to speak again. They want to, in a way, make him help him speak again. So the therapist asked him, let's start. You tell me, Rabbi, what are the most two important words you want to learn? Okay, because we're starting from scratch, like zero. Now you have to learn from the beginning. What are the two most important words you want to learn? Let's work on it. Now, let's stop and ask you this question. Okay, God forbid, I don't want to, you can speak out loud, I hear you, but imagine you had to learn everything from the beginning. What are the two most important words? Take a minute and think about it. What do you think are the two most important words in the world, okay? If you had only those two, using them throughout the day. Yes, please. Shabbat Shalom, that's beautiful. But you can use it only one day. So, what would you do? You'll be silent for 6 days, and then it's beautiful, Shabbat Shalom. I'll tell you something, if it was now, I would definitely say Shabbat Shalom, because I want to wish you Shabbat Shalom in a few minutes. That's the perfect timing. In beautiful words, holy words, it wasn't his choice. Yes, other options, you didn't speak, right? Yes. Shalom, and the holy name of God, of Hashem. That's more practical. It's not his decision, it wasn't his answer, but your answer is beautiful. Shalom. Shalom, by the way, it means everything. You said Shabbat Shalom. It means peace among us, peace here. The hardest battle is here in our soul, to have peace and tranquility, to be, calm down, relax, lay back. To have Shalom means, in many, when you meet someone, you say Shalom. That's beautiful, and the holy name we use when we pray, it's also good. That's good. It wasn't his answer, but that's a good answer. Okay, both of them, but both of you gave good answers. Okay, those who didn't speak yet, you didn't speak, right? You, yes. Baruch Hashem, that's also good. Wow, good answers. Baruch Hashem, it's something you say, because it's like, okay, everything that happens, I say Baruch Hashem. Because it's like, it's like thanking Hashem for everything that happens, something good, something bad, having this, I would say, sense of confidence. Baruch Hashem, it happened, something positive happened, and if not, so okay, it's good. Once again, it wasn't his answer, but it's good. Other answers, you please, yes. Can and no, okay, that's good. Maybe he wants to show, that will help him in the lectures. Can and no, I think it's something you can also say without the words, but it's good. These are two basic words, can and no. Beautiful. Okay, one last answer before we continue. You didn't. No, you spoke already? You spoke already? New faces, yes, you please. Food and water, for sure. He's practical. Guys, you're so, I would say, spiritual. Baruch Hashem, Shabbat Shalom, food and water. It wasn't the answer, but it's good. I think they give it to you. I think they give it to you in the hospital. Even if you don't ask for food and water, they give you food and water a lot. Okay, listen to this. The answer was, and once again, it's a message I hope you can take to your life's journey. He said, the first one was, Toda. Why Toda? You said Toda? Okay, so 50%. Okay, Toda. Why Toda? Why do you think it's so meaningful to say Toda, kids? Yes, please.
Because if somebody gives you something or
Exactly. Everything. And think about it. He became like passive. He's hospitalized, so people come and bring him things and do things for him. You need to say todah. It's part of what we call in Hebrew hakarat hatov, a sense of gratitude. It belongs to our week's portion. It's connected to this week's parasha. What is the parasha this week? Parasha Yitro. Very good. Yitro. What do we receive in parasha Yitro? Torah, 10 Commandments, the set of the Mitzvot, okay? We get the Torah at Mount Sinai, and part of it is to be thankful for our parents. You should respect them, you should be thankful. Have a thankful, I would say, perspective. I just read, I learned Parsha, so I read a beautiful comment, one of the commentators. He said, we thank before we think. We thank before the Jews, we thank before we think. He meant the first sentence. People say when they wake up, you know what the first word is? The first thing you can say in the morning when you wake up, Modeh ani. What is Modeh? Thank you. Thank you Hashem for giving me my soul back. So it's beautiful. The way you can say Todah to the people that are helping you, the nurses, the doctors, beautiful, Todah. And the second word was Amen. Why do you need Amen? That was very creative as an answer. What do you need Amen for? Yeah, we're gonna have, okay. Now we're opening it once again. Those who already spoke can speak again, can raise your hand. I'll give you the option. Yeah. Why Amen? B'diuk. You know what b'diuk is? Exactly. Thank you very much. So we have two words, keywords, guiding words. We have Todah. Todah is for everything people do for you. You can say Todah to every person. Everyone, Jews, non-Jews, young people, adults, rabbis that are coming and helping you, doctors, anyone, Todah. That's what we should use a lot. Todah. We should use more. Thank our parents, thank our teachers, thank each other, thank the bus driver, Todah. And Amen, just like you said, if I don't have the ability to bless, to bench, to pray, to say all the brachot, nothing. He can make kiddush, Havdalah, Shema Yisrael, to put on the tefillin, nothing. He has the ability to just say, Amen. Someone can say it for you, and you will answer. And then if you say Amen, it's like you're part of it. I want you to take those two words. It's another gift I want to give you. And take those two words with you and try to use them a lot. Somebody said something nice, you can say Amen, Someone said something beautiful. Amen, yeah, I agree. Someone says a bracha. Everything someone else does, you can say Amen. And for sure, you can say Todah as many times as you can throughout the week. I think it's very important. Those two words, even if we have the ability to speak, let's emphasize that. Let's use them more. That's just one story I had the privilege of covering. And I want to thank you. Okay, now I'll have to tell you. Now what? You want to say something?
No.
Wow.
We're wrapping up.
We're wrapping up? What do you mean? No, it's done. Yeah, that's done. I just want to say two words. Todah and Amen. That's it. Thank you very much. Todah and Amen. Bye-bye. Shabbat Shalom.
Everyone, can we please say Shabbat Shalom to Sivan? And Todah, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm going to